This championship for Michigan was, what is it, 6-7 years in the making? I don't believe if Jim Harbaugh didn't struggle going into, or didn't struggle when he first got the job, as far as getting the right quarterback, as far as beating Ohio State, as far as people calling for his job, as far as, remember, he was flirting with the NFL a couple times, even now, and we'll talk about that in a second. I don't think if any of that happened, in fact, let me say it like this. I think all of that had to happen for them to win a championship. Because the thing about distractions from the outside is sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes it has a way of focusing a team. I understand that you're like, how is distractions focus a team? Because when you have people that are sending you distractions, that are speaking ill on your name, speaking ill on your program, it allows you to focus and say, all right, I'll say it gives you added motivation. Let's say that. And all of that, players coming back, Blake Corum coming back, J.J. McCarthy coming back, Donovan Edwards coming back, a bunch of the defense coming back because they had a goal. And they understood how close that goal is. Again, it takes you make it to the college football playoffs 3 years, you're just unable to get over the hump, or 2 years previous to this year. You're just unable to get over the hump. But you understand how close you are. Again, Michigan, this championship was, 6 years in the making. And let's talk about the national championship. We talk about game plans. And we talk about how in life you make a game plan for the map to success. A game plan is essentially a map to success. And going into the national championship, the game plan for Washington was simple. Make J.J. McCarthy beat us. J.J. McCarthy, while he has shown the ability to be a high volume thrower, we haven't seen that in the last few weeks. We haven't seen that probably since Ohio State game. Or actually, no, not even that. Probably since the beginning of the season. We haven't seen J.J. McCarthy have to take over a game. But the game plan for Washington more than likely was, we need to win the line of scrimmage, and we cannot let their dynamic running back, either Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards, we can't let them go off. Because if they go off and if they get a rhythm, it's over with. The game plan for Washington was also probably, we have the most explosive offense in college football. If Michael Penix doesn't get touched, if we keep the pocket clean, because we also have one of the best, if not the best, offensive line in college football. If we're able to keep the pocket clean, Michael Penix will win us a game. We understand the limitations that we have, that is Washington, as far as they have a tough time defending the pass. They have a tough time defending the run after the initial contact. But if we can control the controllables, that's what you hear a lot. If you can control the controllables, we win. Now, what do you think Michigan's game plan was? Michigan's game plan was simple. Keep doing what we've been doing all season. Play NFL style defense. Win the line of scrimmage. And run the ball down their throat. And let's hope J.J. McCarthy can make a big play, a important play. Exactly what I thought would happen happened, but to a different extent. Remember last episode, I said the reason why I think Michigan will win this game is because they have been dominant at the line of scrimmage, both the offensive line and the defensive line. They've been dominant this entire season. They have the best defense in college football. They have one of the best offensive lines in college football. And they've seen a team like Washington before. It was just a couple years ago, which brings me back to my first point. This national championship was years in the making. Michigan has seen Washington before. It was in the form of Ohio State with C.J. Stroud and Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. They've seen this type of team. Washington has not seen this type of team in Michigan. A team that is relentless on the defensive side of the ball. A team that can go. They might not be able to go step for step with your wide receivers, Rome Odunze, Jalen Polk, Jalen McMillan, but they can scheme around them and they can make it difficult for you because of how well they're coached and because they have NFL-type players on the defensive side of the ball. And that's exactly what happened. Michael Penix. This was the first, you know why? So Michael Penix has been, obviously he was a Heisman finalist. Michael Penix has been praised for his pinpoint accuracy, not only on his deep ball, but he is, if you're able to keep the pocket clean, he is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Now, I'm not saying you have to keep the pocket clean, but Penix has a way of getting the ball where it needs to go. But as we saw, he struggled mightily because of the pressure. He went 27 for 51. Michigan dominated this game in every facet of the game. They dominated their offensive line was great, as we saw with how Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards were able to get open and get free. Their defense, their defense won this game. Being able, because, and I was talking to people while watching the game, and why I never lost faith in Washington until the fourth quarter. Because we've seen Washington rattle off 14 points in 2 minutes or 21 points in 3 minutes. But I kind of knew that wasn't going to happen with Michigan because Michigan is too sound of a team. I know when you look at the score, 34-13, you think, oh, this was a lopsided victory. And it was. But I don't want to get lost how evenly matched these teams are. As far as Washington's offense against Michigan's defense, that's the evenness right there. It was just Michigan was playing on all cylinders, and it was difficult for Washington. And There's been difficult games, obviously, but I've never seen Michael Penix miss wide open receivers as much as he did. But you have to credit the pressure that the defense got on him. Now, shouts out to Michigan for winning the national championship. Now it goes back to, and the last thing I'm going to say about this before I move on. I started this episode with goals. What are your goals going into a game? What are your goals going into a season? What are your goals going into a new job? What are the goals that you want to hit? People are wondering what's next for Jim Harbaugh. Does Jim Harbaugh stay at Michigan? Does Jim Harbaugh go on to the NFL? Both irons are incredibly hot right now. I mean, you just won a national championship, and the NFL, we're going to talk about Black Monday in a minute. The NFL has a bevy of vacancies. I'm not here telling Jim Harbaugh what to do. I don't know this man. Obviously, he's going to make the best decision, not just for him, but for his family. But what I will say is this, and why I think it's clear what's going to happen next. Going to Michigan, he said everything that he said the years that he's been here. First goal was to turn around the program. He did that. Second goal was to beat Ohio State. He's done that several times now. Third goal was to make this organization, make this program a national championship caliber program. He's done that. And the last goal, win a national championship. He's done that. My question is, what's next? What other goals do you have to accomplish? You've accomplished everything that you've set out at this current job. So what's next for you? I think that the kind of like another coach we'll talk about, I think that him and Jim Harbaugh has accomplished everything you need to accomplish at your current position. So now it's time to find something new. And a lot of your players are leaving. I mean, Blake Corum's gone. J.J. McCarthy's gone. Donovan Edwards is gone. A bunch of your defense, a bunch of your linemen are gone. A bunch of players are gone. I feel like this kind of feels like the swan song. This kind of feels like the last dance for Michigan as far as, having a senior-laden team, having the coach. It seems like they reached the mountaintop. Now it's time for all of them to go. Blake Corum's going to the league. Maybe Donovan Edwards might go to the league. J.J. McCarthy's going to the league, probably. Now it's time for Jim Harbaugh. Now, of course, if he stays, he stays. Shouts out to him for that. But it goes back to the goals and what you want to accomplish. And it feels like he's accomplished everything that he's wanted to. So why stay? I don't know. But shouts out to Michigan for beating Washington 34-13 in the national championship. Oh man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.